good morning. It's me, Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. Oh, we were going to have, as of like literally 5 minutes ago, we were supposed to have an insane doubleheader of rocket launches this morning. We still have a ton of rocket launches today. Actually, I'm not covering them all. Here, let me just pop you over. Like always, I want you to see this. I'm gonna move my face so I'm not just a bunch of numbers. So check this out. This is absolutely crazy. Today, this is missing the Blue Origin launch, but today SpaceX is launching a GPS satellite. Today is Tuesday the 18th of December. SpaceX is launching a GPS satellite for the Air Force. This is the third generation satellite. There's also a Soyuz launch about 2 hours after that. And then there's a Delta IV Heavy launch that scrubbed from about 10 days ago or so. That's back up on the docket tonight. And then there was supposed to be, literally like back to back to back. It was supposed to be, originally this morning, 8:11 was SpaceX's launch. Sorry, I'm speaking Central Time Zone. 8:11 a.m. was going to be SpaceX's launch. 8:30 was supposed to be Blue Origin's New Shepard launch. And SpaceX just pushed back 30 minutes, and now they're looking at, oh, my thing's not up to date. Crap. But that is. Well, that's fun. Maybe I just need to refresh this. But yeah, so if you go to my website, everydayastronauts.com/pre-launch previews, there we go. Now it's an updated time. You'll now see I'm a little early because literally I had already hit start, and then I realized that Blue Origin got delayed. So we're just going to be focusing. We're just doing a SpaceX live stream today. So let's click on this one. We'll give you the rundown on what this is. Again, like I said, so this is taking off today, December 18th, 2018 at 9:34 local time. This is an Air Force GPS-3 satellite, the first third-generation global positioning satellite. And I think it'll take almost like a year or a good amount of time of validation before they actually replace the satellite it's replacing. There we go. And this is launching for the United States Air Force. This one, guys, is interesting. I don't know if you've seen pictures. I'll have to pull them up. This is a brand new rocket, fresh off the factory floor from Hawthorne, California. This is a brand new Block 5 rocket. But guess what? It does not have landing legs or grid fins. That's right. This is going to be completely expendable. I'm jumping way ahead here, which is weird because if you look at it, it's not that big of a payload. It's 3,800 kilograms. It's only going to medium Earth orbit. It's going to that GPS orbit, which I didn't realize until recently. I realized like a year and a half ago that those are in a medium Earth orbit. They orbit twice every day, I believe. I always thought they were in geostationary before. So I guess now you learn something new every day. So this booster is not going to be recovered, which is crazy. And again, of course, we have this beautiful graphic by Jeff Barrett, which is another way to just simply glance at upcoming missions. So, okay, let me show you this because SpaceX has a picture. Look at this. How sad is this? We'll talk about why it's going to be non-recovered here. That just looks weird. The first Block 5 to not have anything on it, it just looks silly. Man. So the real deal here is, and I should probably pull up that spacenews.com, I believe, did a good article on it. SpaceX GPS. I don't know. I'm sure we'll find it. SpaceX. This is gonna be the morning where I'm gonna watch Tim Google stuff. SpaceX, GPS, satellite, not recovered. Ring. I don't know. I'll let you watch me fumble through typing. Spaceflight now. No. Space News. Here we go. SpaceNews.com had this article talking about how the Air Force really when they signed this contract with SpaceX, this was a couple years ago. This is a big mission. This is a GPS mission. These are expensive satellites. These are pretty. SpaceX just recently really got certified for these types of payloads. This is an expensive payload. This is like a $500 million satellite, And yeah, $529 million GPS-3 satellite. So that's what's crazy here is when they signed it, really the reusability thing hadn't been fleshed out, and they'd only landed, I don't know, a handful of things, but really the Air Force needs them to demonstrate, from my understanding, by the way, this is, and from a little bit of, I'm summarizing kind of what spacenews.com had to summarize, but basically the Air Force needs them to prove they can launch safely a vehicle like this, a payload this big, and it sounds like there's some speculation, again, speaking kind of loosely here, there's some speculation that they're going to be eking every inch of performance actually out of the Falcon 9. So it'll be doing a direct to that medium Earth orbit. So it'll actually coast up for about 2.5 hours, inject itself into the orbit right away instead of having to do just a geostationary transfer orbit. That's where it'll get out of that elliptical phase. It'll do around that perfectly circular orbit, so the upper stage will have to relight again. And then there's people speculating that still doesn't make up for all the performance necessary, and that it might be doing another burn at some point too. I don't know, but basically on this first launch for the Air Force, they're being extra safe. They're taking all of the Delta V out of the vehicle, making sure it's being able to use every drop of fuel for mission reassurance when it's this expensive of a payload. So when you think about it, a $534 million satellite or whatever, compared to the difference between like a reusable, say it's $60 million versus $90 million, I think the Air Force is just like, we'll pay the $30 million in their opinion at the time, probably, to make sure it gets there, quote unquote. And now you might be saying, why wouldn't they use a Delta or a Falcon Heavy for this launch? And that is a great question. They will in the future, I'm sure. Remember when they signed this contract, the Falcon Heavy hadn't even launched yet, like ever. So not only had it not launched, it was unproven. And even to this day, it will still probably take. It fulfilled most. I think it fulfilled all of the regiments that was necessary for Air Force contracts of this nature that the Falcon Heavy has, but I think it will need to fly a few more times before they'd consider a payload this expensive on Falcon Heavy. But this would probably be a perfect candidate if it really is at the absolute upper end of what the Falcon 9 is capable of putting where it needs to go, which it sounds like it does need to do. Oh, there's also the theory that maybe there's a secondary payload in this. I don't know. Who knows? We don't really need to speculate on that too much, but in the future, hopefully we see rockets or payloads just like this going up on a Falcon Heavy. That's the moral of that story. How are you guys today? Sorry, there's the rundown for the morning. I feel like I'm now your morning news. Yeah, how are you guys? What's new with everybody? I hope you guys are fantastic. Green, thank you for your tip. And 3-sided coin, the satellite isn't heavy enough to dictate the use of all that at Delta V. There's a secret payload in it. We're all being lied to. Excuse me, I have to fix my hat. It's not made of tinfoil, I swear. I mean, that is likely, or that there is a possibility. I'm not going to say that's likely, and I'm not going to say that is, but there's a chance of that. This is a military payload. It's fairly secretive. We don't know a ton about it. So yeah, who really knows? But I'm not gonna rule that out because it does seem a little suspicious that they wouldn't even let them. Well, it's not a matter of letting, guys. Don't forget, it's not like the rocket, no matter what, can recover itself. The rocket can only recover itself if it has at least like 15% spare margin in the first stage. Now we talked about this, I think, in the last live stream a little bit, but basically think of it like this. I'm closing out of some stuff here, and I'm going to be super ADD if I don't do that. So think of it like this. The upper stage, when you attach a payload to it, has a certain amount of Delta V. And Delta V is basically like how far can it move in space? How much can you accelerate that heavy boulder? Think of it as like a giant, something hard to push. And you only have so many times you can go and push it, right? For how many seconds, really? Well, not necessarily how many seconds. It's just Delta V. It's how much faster can you accelerate that object. And of course, acceleration counts as acceleration and deacceleration. It's really the same thing. So if your upper stage is capable of, say, I'm just going to make up a number, 4,000 meters per second or something, right? That means that your first stage, in order to put it into orbit, has to do X amount. So now, say you make it a smaller payload, and now all of a sudden, oh wait, that upper stage can actually do 4.5 meters per second. Oh, good. Now our first stage doesn't have to do nearly as much of that work. Our first stage only has to get it up to the point where the second stage can get it to where it needs to go. That's kind of, you almost can think of it backwards like that. Like, what can the upper stage do? How much work can the upper stage do? And then based on that, you can go, okay, well, we know it can do that much. So now how much is left over in the first stage? If the first stage has enough left over, it needs at least like 15-ish% to safely land downrange on a drone ship to do an ASDS landing. So that would be, 15%-ish. I don't really know. I believe there's like 2 meters per second-ish that the first stage needs to inject, but that's how much it needs to be able to land downrange, up to about 700 kilometers downrange, even on some of those really spicy ones. But then if it's going to be doing a return to launch site landing, it appears to need about 30% of its fuel margin. So obviously in that case, it's a pretty light payload, or it's not going very far, and the upper stage doesn't have nearly as much work to do. The first stage has plenty of margins to turn around. So apparently this might just tick the boxes of requiring the upper stage to do so much work, or that the first stage can't that the upper stage can't do all that much work because it must be going pretty far, medium Earth orbit, circularizing itself. It must be fairly heavy. Therefore, the first stage has to make up for the rest of it, and that is expensive. So just to remind everyone, yes, the Blue Origin launch has scrubbed today. Quoting, let me pull up that tweet here. Twitter.com/Blue Origin. Oh, not with a 0. Excuse me. We are scrubbing today. New Shepard's launch due to a ground infrastructure issue. The vehicle is in good standing. Stand by for updates as we see what weather looks like for tomorrow. And that's good because I didn't really know how I was going to juggle 2 launches exactly back and forth. Let's see here. And then there's this one. Wait, what did SpaceX say? T-minus 30. Launch webcast will go live in about 15 minutes. Yeah, so we'll wait for this to pop up in the near future. We'll just have it over here. So Renow Gaming, thank you. Hope all launches go well today. Sadly, got to get some sleep as I work overnight. No, we'll probably doze off with the live stream going. Well, we can all put. I'm not going to turn into an ASMR channel and try putting you to sleep. Renow, I'm absolutely with you. I also hate. It's unfortunate seeing a naked Falcon 9. Isn't it weird though? 3 years ago, this was totally. Like 3.5 years, actually, the first time there was ever landing legs on a rocket was early 2014. I saw it. It was CRS-3, the first rocket, liquid-fueled rocket of this class to have landing legs. And that looked weird, guys. I went out to the launch pad. It was my first launch ever. And people were laughing at the fact that there was a rocket. This was March or April of 2014. People were laughing at the fact that it had landing legs. Like, how stupid is it? What a stupid idea. Elon's trying to land rockets. He's barely even putting stuff into space right now. Like, it was like their, I don't know, 7th launch or something of the Falcon 9 or 6th launch or something, like very small number of launches of Falcon 9s. And they were working on recovery already. And people were going, ooh, maybe you should learn how to fly first before trying to land. McFly first, land. And come to find out, I think they did okay. I'm not going to lie. I think they did just perfectly quite fine. So there will not be... why does everyone say 2 streams? Check my staging. What do you mean I have two streams? I only have 1 stream. Well, maybe it's something with what's that called? For some reason YouTube, I don't know why, there's like some scheduled live streams that always like stay dead in the background or something. So I'm just going to check on that quick. I don't know what's happening. I shouldn't have 2 live streams. I'm doing the same thing I always do. Why is everyone yelling 2 streams? I don't get it. What's telling me, guys, feedback. Give me real feedback, not just 2 streams. Let's see here. Events. Let's see if I have another stream going in event. Weird. You are right. This is very confusing. This, I see that there are 2 in here. I don't even know how to do anything with this. Jeez. Let's turn this one off. How do I... I don't know. Weird. I don't know. Watch your favorite one, guys. I don't know how to do this. One says Rocket Labs. NASA. Oh, this is fun. Now, if you guys wanted solid entertainment for your morning, how about just looking at a guy's face while over in the corner there's a picture of a Falcon 9 rocket and he tries to fix one of the streams. Maybe it's your guys' problem. Maybe you guys need to have two monitors and watch simultaneously. Maybe that's the problem. I think the problem is I changed the title midway, like right away this morning, as soon as I went live. And then once that happened, live 2, one of these says live 2. I don't need live 2. I just want live 1. I don't know. Get to, nope, I'm not killing it. I don't know how to kill it. You guys are just going to have to get 2 monitors. That's on you. That's not me. If you can't handle me doing 2 streams, good luck. You're just going to have to grab yourself a second monitor. Let me check on a few things here. I really would like for this. I'm going to make myself small. I'm going to make you guys look at this just so it, looks cooler. Well, how about I do 3 streams? That is so weird. I don't know how to fix this. YouTube, can you help? YouTube, can you help me? I don't get how to... I can't do anything either. I can't, kill them. I'm almost tempted to just start over and just, I don't know how to... How do you... Dad? Hello? I need an adult. This is so stupid. I'm going to do 3 streams. Oh, I'm hearing myself. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Well, this is now beyond just ridiculous. I'm just going to ignore it. Let's see. Hello from my Joshua Pons. Hello from Miami, Florida. Thank you for saying hi and good morning. Hopefully you have a chance to just kind of see a little streak in the sky. Not even a streak, a little beep pinpoint of light. BSG74, thank you so much for all you do in the community. Much appreciated. Well, thank you so much, BSG74. And 3-sided coin, this was posted on tomorrow, and I'd like your answer. Given current technology today, and you are guaranteed the budget, build your ideal mission, both crewed and uncrewed. Oh, I like the way you think. I like the way tomorrow thinks. Let me make sure this isn't going to be too loud. Okay, so first off, notice that everyone check out 3-sided coins thing here. It does say tomorrow, TMRO. This is my friendly reminder. If you're not watching the show on YouTube tomorrow, you're doing space internet wrong. So we'll start there. Be sure and subscribe to tomorrow, TMRO. And then I will now answer this question. So, all right. Given current technology today, your planned ideal crewed and uncrewed. Okay, I think for sure I want something out on Titan. I realized how awesome Titan is when I did that video about the Dragonfly drone. Yeah, the Dragonfly drone. That Titan is awesome. Holy crap. I want to see Titan, Enceladus, and Europa. All 3 of those seem really cool, but I think Titan almost seems like my new favorite. And that would be uncrewed. I'm okay not having to send people out there. So we're going to go ahead and say uncrewed out to Titan. The other one would definitely be, I think, I still really, 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 really want a mission to Mars. I really want that. And I think that'll happen in the next 13 years or so. But I actually want to see a moon mission first. Now, I've been kind of persuaded. I'm seeing the idea that, it doesn't necessarily, it's not a great argument. It's not like a one-to-one argument that we need to go to the moon first because it's stepping stones to Mars. I don't really agree with that attitude, but I more agree that it's easier to get people on board with developing a moon infrastructure. And we can do that a lot more relatively easily than we can develop an entire colony on Mars. So I'd like to start on the moon, get some people exploring there again, get some awesome hardware there again. Those are my 2 things. I would want a permanent presence on the moon, or at least semi-permanent, like infrastructure that allows for us to continually return to the moon without it being some big, huge hobnob. And then a drone on Titan, a really good drone. Like, I want a drone, make it like a mech or something. Like, I want it to, like, I don't know, walk around playing those like streams of methane, throw football or American football to its other friend down the stream, and they will like do cool things on Titan. I want it to be really cool. I don't know why throwing a space football on Titan would be particularly cool. I don't think that would be cool. But I want something that is more than just, oh, we're gonna boopity boop some soil. That's what the first one did. Actually, the Dragonfly proposal is really cool because it would fly around and actually look all over Titan and do all these really cool things. I'm still a very big fan of that. So I think that would count, but maybe send like 3 or something. I'm all about redundancy. So, all right. So what else is there? So Mars Mountain, thank you. More streams, please. I will try to set up at least 6 more simultaneously. I don't know how else to fix that. Maybe I'll just do this. Maybe I'll switch it to like, no, I'm not even gonna worry about it. Let's see. Tori, is it cheaper to launch an expendable Falcon 9 than a recoverable Falcon Heavy? There is a little bit of crossover where it does seem like that could potentially be the case, but I don't know. I think there's some internal pricing differences. I'm sure that SpaceX is much more incentivized to make the Falcon Heavy cheaper than an expendable Falcon 9. Because there is some crossover where an expendable Falcon 9 would be as capable as a recoverable Falcon Heavy. There's a little bit of crossover there. And people have speculated that it does seem weird that currently the pricing scheme we're aware of does sort of reflect the idea that it might be cheaper to expend a Falcon 9 than to fly Falcon Heavy. And yeah, that seems like it's kind of, yeah, out of the thing. So, and Renal Gaming, well, more everyday astronaut live streams, the better. I guess so. I guess we're running 2 today. At least. Maybe 10. I don't know. Bradley L. Heard landing might happen on future GPS missions. Yes, it could. I mean, I personally assume that there is margin to land, but they either are out of a clear abundance of caution for the size, weight, and value of this payload, and or there might be some kind of secondary payload that's sucking up a little bit of Delta V. So, yeah. And also, Victor, thank you so much for your generous tip. And good morning or afternoon or wherever you live. Good day, sir. All right, so I see. I saw a thing to talk about. I wanted to. Hey, I saw someone in there had mentioned real quick. Someone asked about a podcast. Apparently I need to say this every time. I haven't been doing a very good job of this. I'm already on a podcast every week. We film Thursday or Friday. It's called Our Ludicrous Future. If you aren't subscribed to Our Ludicrous Future, please do so right now. We've done 13 episodes. We made it through the dirty 13. We survived. It's with Answers with Scott, Joe Scott, or Answers with Joe Scott, and Ben Solons from Teslanomics. So it's a lot of fun. We record every Thursday. We mostly talk about futurism, Tesla, and SpaceX. It's Our Ludicrous Future. It's a nod to ludicrous mode on space or on Tesla vehicles. Oh, we are live, so don't forget to check that out, guys. Let's tune into this baby. Let's see if we get one going. Oh, I'm aware that we have 2 live streams. I don't know how to stop it. Oh, you can also listen to that podcast anywhere. You can, if you listen on Apple Podcasts or Casty or something. I don't know, whatever you use. Go ahead and find it there. Let me know what you think.
Good morning from SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California. It is Tuesday, December 18th, just about 6:20 a.m. here on the West Coast and 9:20 a.m. local time in Florida. Welcome to this morning's launch of the GPS-3 Space Vehicle 1 satellite for the U.S. Air Force. You're currently looking at a live view of that Falcon 9 at Space Launch Complex 40 as it awaits its 9:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time launch from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. My name is Tom Perdario, and I'm a firmware engineer here at SpaceX. Today's payload is likely a familiar one. It is the Global Positioning System Satellite, or GPS. If you've ever navigated somewhere in your car or used your smartphone, you have used these satellites. But beyond navigation, the GPS satellite constellation provides a large range of positioning and timing services for both civil and military purposes. Due to a combination of spacecraft mass and orbit, we will not be attempting a first stage recovery today, as we need to reserve enough fuel to get the payload to its intended orbit. Today's launch represents SpaceX's 21st launch and final launch for 2018. The launch window lasts 26 minutes and will close at 9:37 a.m. Eastern Time. And with just a little over 12 minutes to go before launch, let's check in with Shiva to see what's happening on the pad.
Thanks, Tom. My name is Shiva. I'm a Falcon integration and test engineer here at SpaceX. And behind me is a live view of Falcon 9, our two-stage liquid-fueled launch vehicle. Now, Falcon 9 is over 70 meters tall, which is taller than a 21-story building. Now, the base of the vehicle, which is shrouded in some fog, is what we refer to as the first stage. It has 9 Merlin engines at its base, which accelerate the entire vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere to the edge of space. Now, as Tom mentioned earlier, today's target orbit does not permit a recovery attempt, making today's Falcon 9 a rare expendable version. So it doesn't have grid fins here at the top, and it doesn't have landing legs either. The first stage gets us to the edge of space, but it's the second stage above the first stage that will carry today's GPS-3 satellite to a medium Earth orbit, or MEO. About 3 minutes into the launch, the first stage engines will cut off, and the second stage will separate. Following stage separation, the second stage will fire its single Merlin vacuum, or NVAC engine, to bring it and the GPS-3 space vehicle to a highly elliptical transfer orbit. Now, as the rocket ascends, friction with the Earth's atmosphere generates tremendous pressure forces and heating. Our 5-meter diameter payload fairing, which is this two-piece composite structure at the very tip of the rocket, protects today's satellite from these forces. In fact, because of the extra heating, we have a little bit of extra thermal protection at the very tip of the vehicle. Now, once we're in the vacuum of space, the fairing's mission is complete, and we'll jettison it back to Earth to reduce overall vehicle mass. We won't be attempting to recover today's fairing, as our fairing recovery vessel, Mr. Stephen, is currently on the west coast of the United States. Now, on the side of the rocket, this large gray truss structure is what we refer to as the transporter erector, or TE. Now, the TE rolls Falcon 9 out to the launch pad and raises it to the vertical launch position, while also providing power, launch fluids, and communication feeds to both the satellite and rocket, just up until about T-1 minute, when Falcon 9 will switch over to its own internal control. Now, let's hear how launch preparations are going from Tom.
We are now just under 10 minutes until liftoff. In the past several hours, key steps have taken place in order to get the rocket closer to its T-0 liftoff. The pad was cleared at about T-6 hours before launch, and then 38 minutes before launch, the launch director polled the team to determine readiness for propellant load, and then we did proceed to begin loading propellant and fuel onto the vehicle. The GPS spacecraft finished transitioning to internal power at about T-15 minutes before launch. Falcon 9 uses a refined form of kerosene called RP1 for its fuel, and super chilled liquid oxygen, or LOX, as its oxidizer. To ignite the engines, Falcon 9 uses a chemical called TTEB, which stands for triethyl aluminum triethyl borate, which you'll see at T0 via the telltale green spark right before the rocket takes off. Currently, RP1 is nearly fully loaded on the first stage, and the second stage is fully fueled. Liquid oxygen loading is currently underway and will finish loading on the first and second stages at 3 and 2 minutes prior to launch, respectively. We've also began helium loading. Helium gas acts as our pressurant to push RP1 and LOX through the Merlin engines, and helium will continue to top off until a minute and a half before launch. Engine chill began at about T-7 minutes, or will begin at about T-7 minutes to liftoff. This is where we open the valves between the first stage Merlin engines and the propellant tanks to allow just a small amount of that super chilled liquid oxygen into the turbopumps to begin to bring down their temperature to avoid any shocks to the system when the full flow of LOX begins flowing into those engines. At about T-4.5 minutes, that white truss structure, called the transporter erector, or TE, will retract away from the rocket just slightly to provide clearance for the Falcon 9 to lift off. Looking at liftoff conditions, the range is currently green for launch. We monitor upper level winds, ground level winds, cloud rules, and lightning rules. It is a clear day at the Cape, but right now we are monitoring those upper level winds, but they are trending in a positive direction. However, if for any reason we cannot launch today, we do have a backup launch opportunity for tomorrow with the window opening at 9:07 a.m. Eastern Time.
Hi, I'm Michael Andrews, and I'm a member of the supply chain team here at SpaceX. As Tom mentioned earlier, today we're launching the GPS-3 Space Vehicle 1 satellite for the U.S. Air Force. The Global Positioning System, commonly known as GPS, is a satellite-based global navigation array. It provides a remarkably diverse set of uses, from navigation to agriculture to search and rescue. The GPS project began back in 1973 for military uses and became widely available for the public in the 1990s. The last of the second series of GPS satellites, GPS-2, was launched back in 2016. Now this latest generation GPS-3 will introduce new capabilities such as 3 times improved accuracy, 8 times improved anti-jamming capabilities, an extended 15-year service life, and increased coordination with other international global navigation systems.
We're scrubbed. Heard hold in the background. And the clock stopped. And there was a big purge. Hopefully they'll update us. Remember, friendly reminder, scrubs are cheaper than booms. That's a good saying because this rocket, again, is a, $60-some million piece of engineering. And the payload on top is $530 million. So I'm guessing they were looking at upper level winds being an issue.
So as you heard on the nets, we did have a hold, and the clock has stopped. Right now it looks like the Falcon 9 has hit an abort condition. We don't have all the information just yet, but hold on, and we will get some more information as soon as the teams have had a chance to review the data and see what's up on the rocket.
They didn't full-blown call it. And they reset the clock at 15. That's interesting. So here's the deal. Don't forget this vehicle. They use super chilled propellants. So normally during fuel up, if there is an abort and if they have to stop for any reason, they basically have to scrub for the day because they top off the vehicle until about T-2 minutes. And they're literally just like pushing in fuel until the very, very last second, or I guess 120 seconds. And then they want it to take off with all the propellant, especially the liquid oxygen, the super chilled liquid oxygen. They want to take off with that as cold as possible. So if for any reason they scrub, like previously, a scrub in the countdown like this, especially this close, meant they couldn't recycle it fast enough. But maybe they figured out a new way to do it where they have enough reserves on hand or something to be able to continually top off the vehicle. Now, don't forget, so some missions only have an instantaneous launch window. This is not one of them, but some missions only have an instantaneous launch window, and that's mostly like International Space Station missions. Those are instantaneous because they need to line up perfectly on the orbital inclination of the International Space Station. They're trying to rendezvous with the ISS. This isn't a mission like that. There is a lot more wiggle room, if you sort of say, and it's a lot easier to make up for the difference and all that stuff because it's going to a medium Earth orbit. They can place it there within a certain window of time. I believe today's launch window is a full-blown 2 hours or something like that.
This is Launch Director in the Countdown Net. We're scrubbed for today's operation as we've run out of window. Please set up for 24-hour recycle. We're in section 58 for post-scrub turnaround.
Okay. Confirmed scrub, everybody. Confirmed scrub. But don't worry, we have plenty of launches still. Tonight I will be covering the Delta IV Heavy. So tune back in tonight, this evening. Also tomorrow we'll be right back at it again here with this and New Shepard. I guess they're just wanting to go to space together today within the same period of time. Yeah, Christmas did end early. I'm guessing there's a few things that might have been upper altitude winds, but they did say an abort with the rocket, so it might have been something on that internal countdown, some procedure. I believe around that time, somewhere around there, I don't remember when, but the things like the TVC, the thrust vector control, the thing that steers the upper stage wiggles a little bit, some of the engines wiggle. There's a few checks that the rocket does, including, making sure its gyros are stable and all these different alignment things, all during this countdown. So if any one of those things experiences even a slight misreading, again,
For those of you just joining us, we did have an abort. You heard that hold call on the launch nets. Unfortunately, this abort was triggered by the onboard Falcon 9 flight computer. The unfortunate part is that it has pushed us past our launch window today. So it means we will not be able to recycle the countdown and attempt again. So it looks like we are going to be attempting to launch tomorrow. We have another window tomorrow starting at 9:07 a.m. So please tune in tomorrow for the next attempt of the GPS-3 space vehicle satellite.
They got out of there quick. The GPS-3 space vehicle satellite. I like how he chuckled as he said that. All right, well, we still have some things to answer and talk about here, guys. So let's just get right to it. So first off, reminder to come back tonight because there's a Delta 4 Heavy. Remember how just the other day I was saying that, like, man, we've been really spoiled. Stuff has not been scrubbing lately at all. I told you, this stuff happens all the time. Like, you get used to it. Scrubs are totally a part of rocket launches. So there we go. A scrub, no big deal. This is normal. Back in the day, like I said, I think it was early 2016, SpaceX scrubbed like 6 times per rocket launch. So I'm happy that we're beyond those days. They're getting pretty darn reliable. This will all do. SpaceX will be launching same time, only 4 minutes earlier tomorrow. So I think they said 9:07 a.m. Eastern, which is what, like 12:07 or 13:07, something 14:07. I don't know, some number UTC. Oh, we could probably just look it up on pre-launch previews. We'll go to everydayastronaut.com/pre-launch previews, and hopefully within a near amount of time, the thing will be updated. Yeah. But while I have you guys here, there's a few more things. So Our Ludicrous Future, don't forget to check that out. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, it didn't start. So don't forget, so it's tonight. What time is that? That'll be like 8 o'clock my time. Good, that's nice and easy. I'll reset my stream. Hopefully we won't end up with 2 streams. Oh, hey, guess what? I got something new in here in my new web store. Because guess what? It's the 50th anniversary of Apollo 8. So we have a limited edition, just like those Buran shirts. These are limited edition, pre-orders only. The orders will end December 31st. These are on tri-blend shirts, so they're extra soft, extra comfortable, extra awesome. These are going to be done December 31st. They'll ship mid-January. We do runs of shirts. We don't do print on demand here at my new store. So they're higher quality. That's why we sometimes run out of stock, sometimes run out of order, sometimes get really behind. So a friendly reminder to those of you that ordered Buran shirts and or these grid fin coasters, we got swamped, absolutely swamped. All orders are shipping. They should be to you like by the end of the week, if not early next week. So big time fingers crossed that the shop that's been working to fulfill these orders has been beyond working full time. We doubled their total output with this new store. Like, they have like 10 other customers or something. We've more than doubled everything they've ever done. So they're scrambling to just like they're going through their own version of production hell. So check this out, because we're coming up on the 50th anniversary of humans leaving the Earth, of course, with Apollo 8. So you can go to everydayastronaut.com/shop or shop.everydayastronaut.com. And you can check out, these moon lamps are back in stock. We have a few other things that are back. So check that out when you want. Some of these might be able to make it to you before the holidays still, if you order now. And don't forget, there's free shipping on all orders over $100 for domestic and discounted international shipping on orders over $100. So, all right, let's order a couple of your guys' questions here. Oh, wow. All right, Jonathan. So Jonathan says, I wasn't into space and rocketry. Then I ran across your channel. Now I can't get enough of it. My wife says I'm obsessed. I say I'm passionate. Thanks for all your work. Well, thank you so much, Jonathan. My wife says the same thing. Don't forget, 4 years ago, it was only about 5 years ago, is when I bought the spacesuit, to a total surprise of like all my friends and family. Like, that wasn't a thing really. I had a couple like space shirts. I was paying a little bit of attention, barely. But like, I couldn't have told you what an SRB was 5 years ago, a solid rocket booster. I couldn't have told you. I didn't really know what SpaceX. If you said SpaceX, I would have been like, I had no idea. Like, I started from scratch 5 years ago, and it's really easy to fall in love with this, because you do realize how international it is and how big some of these challenges are, and it's so cool and so rewarding to watch companies and organizations pursue these really, really big things. I understand why you're obsessed, and I hope that your wife is understanding of it, because it's pretty exciting. Before you guys all leave too, at the end of these comments, I'm going to read through some of these comments. I'll show you guys a sneak peek of my next video. I rendered it last night. Lots of animations. I'm really excited about them. I haven't even checked them out yet myself because they weren't done rendering. So we'll watch that quick. We'll get a little sneak peek. Primus, thank you very much. Same with XHXS Cyril, thank you. And Kuhneman, have I met Scott Manley? Not in person. We've done some, like, I've FaceTimed with him once, and we're going to probably collaborate at some point. Just a fantastic chap. Very, very, very intelligent. Three-sided coin. Goodbye, 1054. Not yet. We hardly knew thee. So true. W. Moss, 3. Thank you. Plastic Pinocchio just failed my aerospace engineering university test. 57 out of 60 is failing. Dude, if I ever got a 50, that would have been major win for me. Are you kidding? That's considered failing? Now I'm kind of demotivated. Should I try again or pick another faculty? Plastic Man, first off, like, trust me, I know about failing school. Don't let the failure part demotivate you. I failed I got put on probation from college because I did so bad in school. Like, I wasn't out partying or anything. I was playing a lot of video games. That was probably half the problem. But, like, I was actually kind of going to school, and I was actually sort of applying myself a little bit, and I was failing. I was doing really bad. I flunked out twice. You need to remember this. I don't know if maybe not a lot of people realize this. I did awful at school. I'm not very good in academia. And I am so jealous, and it's so important for people that can do school. If you can do school, if you got 57 out of 60, if you can do the 60 out of 60, for the sake of all humanity, please, please, please go to school. I'm so nervous that academia is dying. I'm so nervous that people are unmotivated to go to school. I'm so nervous that we're going to end up with a bunch of people that are only learning stuff on YouTube, which can be a terrible place. I'm nervous about YouTube because I spend a lot of time trying to get stuff right on my channel. Every time I post something, I'll still get a correction. And I try really, really hard to not get it wrong. I can't fix that. I can't correct myself later. So now I'm permanently spreading misinformation. YouTube is an awful vessel for actual full-blown education. Because if you mess up one thing, it might stick with whoever else sees or reads or hears that for the rest of their life. And especially, like, that's one of those reasons why I try not to do rumor mongering videos. I'll admit I got a little bit carried away with it with the CRS-16 landing. I jumped right in and did a video about it. But I tried to not set too many ideas in hard stone, because say I was just like, clearly the vehicle shut down or something, said something wrong, I would have spread that now to like 960,000 people. So it's scary because it doesn't reward pedanticism. It doesn't reward accuracy. YouTube as a whole rewards getting stuff out quickly, and it definitely wants quantity over quality. So if I think it's more important than ever to have people really learning how to study, really learning how to stay in school, really learning as much stuff as you can, because it's people that study these things and actually get. So we talked about it again on the podcast, the Our Ludicrous Future, just the other day. We talked about the Dunning-Kruger effect. And it took me almost 5 years of obsession with rockets to realize how much I don't know. If I were to say, hey, I'm going to actually become a rocket engineer. I want to work on, the turbo pump machinery on the Raptor engine. I'm realizing now how much school and how much I'm missing in my knowledge gap in order to do something like that. I'm not even above the fibers of the carpet. And the amount of engineering knowledge you need is like through the roof. You know what I mean? Like, there's a huge gap. Don't get discouraged, because it's only through proper training like that and through a really focused vision on what you want to do that you can actually do the real stuff. Like, get your hands dirty, do some awesome things. It's really important. So if that's something you want to do, Plastic Pinocchio, go out there and do it, please. For all of us, we're all cheering for you. We're all on your side for the future. Yes. Hopefully, sorry, that was a long rant. People are saying the Apollo shirt's already sold out. Oh, yeah. Whoops. I'll fix that. I will fix that quick. I think I just need to change the setting in here that allows it to be done for pre-orders. Sorry about that for the Apollo shirt, everybody. 0 variants in stock. That's correct because it's a pre-order, but let's just make sure. Actions continues. There we go. All right, that should do it. Let me know if that works now, guys, for those of you that were looking for the Apollo 8 shirt. Good catch. There we go. Yep, it's back up now. That should work now. All right, Martin, hi. I'm in UK watching live for once. Great work. Sorry that you caught a scrub. That stinks. You did catch it, but you caught a scrub. By the way, I noticed, did you guys see that during the live stream, they're going to apparently do the full coast phase, the reignition, and then the satellite deployment. That's going to be like a 2.5 or 3 hour live stream or something. I don't know if tomorrow I'm going to come anywhere near streaming all that. So yeah, whoops. Renown Gaming, have the fairing tips always been painted black? I have never personally seen a black tipped fairing. I don't know if that's new. I need to look into that. I need to try to see if we can figure out why they're painted black. That was crazy. It might be some extra additional ablative coating or something right on the tip. Maybe they're just going to punch through Max Q faster and harder than ever before. Might be this new fairing 2.1 or whatever he's talking about. Oh my word, Christopher! Christopher! Oh! Christopher will always win. Christopher is officially Tip Daddy. Thank you, Christopher. Everyone say hi and thank you to Chris. Christopher is the number one supporter of everything I do, and I couldn't thank you enough for that, Christopher. Yeah, that's unbelievably generous. Your love knows no bounds. Thank you so much. Riley, aero engineering is hard but really fun. Trust me. Take it from Riley. Boom. Go get that aerospace engineering degree. Do it. That's going to become the cool badge of honor. Like, you guys in the future, I think we're going to be showing off, like, education will be valued instead of number of subscribers on YouTube. Like, that's such garbage. Number of followers on Instagram. I was just watching a thing while eating dinner last night about, like, people that, you know, live as influencers on the internet. And I understand that in some ways my career is tied into influencer stuff, but like the people that literally just wake up and they just have to like tweet their faces and Snapchat their faces and Instagram, like that is a whole different life. That is crazy. Like we're going down some weird roads here as humanity. So hopefully people start valuing. I think a few years ago, Ashton Kutcher of all people, who's an Iowa native, stood up in front of a crowd of young people. I think it was at like a Kids' Choice Awards or something like that. And he said, knowledge is sexy. There's nothing sexier than being smart. And to me, that's what I think is actually coming around. I think we're hitting that pendulum swing of like, we've gone full blown like Honey Boo Boo and you know, like Instagram, I'm going to light myself on fire, over to like, I think humanity's starting to have reached the peak of that. And I think we're starting to swing back into, you know what's actually really cool? Check this rocket out and like, look at the people, the engineers and the people that physically build these things with their bare hands, or maybe tiger hands. I don't know what kind of hands they have. Some form of hands, maybe robotic. I don't know. They have hands potentially. Think about those people. Like that is cool. Go to SpaceX someday. Walk around. Well, don't go inside if you're not allowed inside, but walk around the people and see all the people walking around. Everyone's like cool and young, and there's this like swag, and it's sexy. It's fun. I'm speaking specifically about SpaceX just because they are a very young company, and I've been there enough times to observe that. I'm sure some of the other aerospace companies are the exact same way. Rocket Lab, I know for sure. I've walked around their factory floor. Everyone's just wearing shirts and stuff. It's cool culture. It's cool and it's fun, and I'm excited for the future. Back to the rant again. Sorry. That jeweler guy, thank you. And same with Sys Power Tools. Thank you. And Steven Lerner, thank you very much, Steven. That's extremely generous. And Martin Alsop, yes, got to watch a Scrub Live dream come true. Yeah, you're one of us now. Congratulations. Paul still wants a corn rocket shirt. I will get you guys a corn rocket shirt someday. We'll do Falcon heavy someday. Just because I'm from Iowa, everything has to be corn related. I get it. I study rocket engineering in part thanks to your channel, thanks to your awesome videos. But man, this rocket engineering is really a hard course. I can't imagine. I really can't imagine. I would love, I actually kind of want to start taking some math courses and stuff again, because I'm starting to really appreciate it now that I'm at that age in life where I'm like, you know what's really cool? Math is really cool. Oh, that's awesome. Good luck, Rocky. Keep it up, please. Chris Harris. Hey, let's rain a $50 bill, y'all. Thank you, Chris. Dang. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Jeez, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Uh-oh. Now my now my Discord channel is going crazy because I did bring up the Falcon Heavy. I guess I just sealed the deal, didn't I? It looks like we're gonna have to do that. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So, I'm gonna get out of here soon. But if you want to join our exclusive Patreon Discord channel, don't forget you can head on over to patreon.com/everydayastronaut, where you can become a mission specialist or a commander. You can pop on into our you can pop on over to our community where you can talk in Discord. You can help with video ideas and things like that in our exclusive subreddit. There's also exclusive live streams available only to patrons. So yeah, so stay tuned. Hopefully you guys get a lot more out of me. Oh yeah, I was gonna do that preview of that video. And hold on, Sis Power Tools, you're in Iowa. Do I do meetups? I do meetups. I haven't really done a Midwest meetup, but actually I had someone just recently ask me, say that they're in town and wanted to do a meetup. And I think I'm going to have to do a meetup. So if you want to do a meetup and you're in Iowa, I think I'll join you. Stay tuned to Twitter. I'll probably try to do a Midwest meetup. I'll try to sneak one in here this winter. Yeah, so we'll see. Dang, Christopher! You are... I don't get it, man. Thank you. Jeez. Christopher. Christopher's making it rain. Everyone say thank you to Christopher. Christopher basically owns this show now. That's crazy. Thank you, Christopher. You're nuts. Jason, what causes out of family abort? Out of family abort. Did I miss something? What's out of family abort? I've never heard of an out of family abort. I'm trying to think of what else that could have been. I'm sorry, I'm really blanking. I can't figure out what out of family would be. But I'll answer what causes an abort. There's 100 different things, a million different things that can actually cause an abort of a rocket. Sorry, I'm a little bit tongue-tied here. I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to catch if you're still in here, Jason, because I want to know exactly what out of family means. Yeah, I don't know. But so anyway, yeah, aborts can be many, many, many things. Oh, apparently SpaceX has an update. We'll read that real quick. This might answer your question. SpaceX team called a hold due to an out of family. There you go. Out of family reading on first stage sensors. I guess that just means one of the sensors was not along with the other sensors. There we go. Vehicle and payload remain healthy. Next launch attempt is tomorrow at 9:07 Eastern, 14:07 UTC. So there we go. SpaceX team called a hold due to an out of family reading. So I guess one of the sensors wasn't getting along with the other sensors. So they aborted. That's my best guess. I've never heard out of family before. So glad I checked Twitter. Sorry it took me 4 minutes of bumbling there, Jason. Riley, don't put off a corn rocket shirt for tomorrow, which can be made today. Don't put off a corn rocket shirt for tomorrow, which can be made today. I love that comment for some reason. We're putting it off, baby. There's like 20 things in the pipe in that web store. By the way, that web store is getting updated like at least once a month, so you have to check back often. Some things are exclusive, some things are just one runs of things. So there will be a corn shirt, a Falcon Heavy someday. An out of range. Yeah, I'm guessing autocorrect or something said out of family, but might have been out of range reading. Yeah. Thank you. And three-sided coin. I wish people like you were around when I was a kid. 20. Oh my God, I'm old. Years ago, I would have into aerospace instead of automotive. Well, if you're serious about potentially getting out of automotive, don't forget automotive is definitely one of the biggest sought-after careers for aerospace companies. If you are in actually anything nowadays, if you're in like product development, those get put in by like SpaceX is absolutely what's that called? Recruiting from automotive, especially building rocket engines is heavily recruited from automotive and also military. So check that out. Explanation up top. Sorry. Out of family means, here we go. Thank you, Andy WD. I haven't seen you in here that much, Andy. Thank you for doing this. Out of family means a component or system test result where the component or system's performance does not conform to the family's performance data that was established by previous test results and is an indication of a potential problem with the component or system requiring further investigation and possible corrective actions. Everyone, boom, Andy WD. Thank you, Andy WD with an I. Wow. Knowledge. Thank you, guys. And thanks, Discord channel, for popping in there with all the... Oh, there we go. And then Peter also said out of range. Yeah. Thank you, Peter, for... See, this is what I love about you guys and about the aerospace community. Is that everyone comes together and figures stuff out. And we all learn. I learn stuff every day. So look at this. I'm going to show you guys a little sneak peek of Canceled Part 2. I'm getting really into doing fun animations now. They take a lot of time, but I just think they're cool. I'm trying to up the production value at all times. I want to make sure these videos, especially videos like this, are very evergreen. Like I want these to live, it's about canceled programs in like the 50s and 60s and 70s. So it's not like in 2 years this information is going to be updated. So I'm making sure to do really good job with these ones. So here's a video. Like Apollo lunar module, which rode on top of the Saturn V rocket. But did you know the Soviet Union designed and built the LK, or lunar craft, to ride on top of their N-1 rocket? That's right. While the world watched as the United States tested and flew their Apollo spacecraft, the Soviet Union was secretly working on a very small lunar lander themselves. The LK was tiny, only about 1/3 the size of the Apollo lunar module, and could only carry one cosmonaut as opposed to 2 like the Apollo lander could. Can you imagine? Just a single person walking around on the moon, all alone, completely isolated. That sounds absolutely terrifying. A few fun facts about the LK. First off, there was no tunnel between the LK and the Soyuz 7K L3 spacecraft. So the cosmonaut was actually going to have to do a spacewalk to get inside the LK. The Soviets also had a much different approach to actually landing on the moon. They would first send an uncrewed Lunokhod probe to select a suitable landing area. It would then act as a beacon to ensure precise landing for the LK. Another interesting fact is they would actually send 2 LKs to the moon for each mission. One ahead of time, uncrewed, as a backup if there were any issues with the crewed lander. And this wasn't the only backup to ensure their cosmonauts got off the moon. No, the Soviets were all about redundancy with the LK. The LK actually had primary and backup engines to ensure they could get their cosmonaut off the moon. Look at that. I'm working hard, everybody. I'm working real hard. I'm excited about this one. I spent almost all day just doing those 3 animations, but it's hard. There's not a lot of footage of a mission that didn't happen, so I wanted to make sure to have plenty of visuals. I don't just want a 20-minute video of my face. So I'm really working on better visuals. I hope you guys like that. Yeah, 2 people alone on the moon is terrifying as well. Yeah. I probably should write not to scale, because you're absolutely right. That is very, 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 very not to scale. But yeah, this video is going to be a ton of fun. Yeah, this video is going to be awesome. This one has, this one has the LK lunar lander. It has Falcon 1. It has, what else was in this one? There's a lot. Let me just go up to the top of this. This has, yeah, the LK, the Delta III, some unflown Saturn V hardware, the TKS spacecraft, and Falcon 1. So this one's awesome. So I hope to have this one done really soon here. Wednesday seems to be my new day, so if I can crank this baby out today, which I highly doubt because I only got about 5 minutes done yesterday, yeah. So that's going to do it for me, guys, because I'll be back here tonight. So pop on in. Don't forget we're about, let's check out our pre-launch previews. We'll see how far away we are from. We are 11 hours from right now. Hopefully a Delta 4 with the NROL 71 launch will be taking off in 11 hours. So hopefully we'll be seeing that. So, yep. That's going to do it for me, guys. I'm Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. I need to say real quick thank you to everyone that has been in here and sticking around, even though there is no rocket launch this morning. Both of them got scrubbed. So thank you, first off, for that. And thank you for all the generous tips. Peter, glad you brought up a Midwest meetup again. I'm in Chicago. Burbs, you're in. Short Falcon 9 right over to Iowa. Boop. That's awesome, Peter. Yes, I will make it obvious when there's going to be a Midwest meetup. I'll see if I can't squeeze one in here. So thank you, Peter. All right, everybody. Thank you guys very, very much. Join me in about 10 and a half hours for the Delta 4 Heavy launch. That's going to do it for me. I'm Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, bringing space down to Earth for everyday people. Bye, everybody.